We just noticed the traffic spiked. There's tons and tons of companies that are opened up daily. They didn't have as much flexibility on the targeting as Meta does, but we're getting into TikTok because we're noticing better results.
Hi there guys, this is Daniel and Denis from Media Components, and we are here in Miami. I'm excited to talk about marketing and business. We are strategic partners and we're actually serious about marketing.
Amazing, thanks for having me on your channel. I'm excited to dive in to some strategies and just talk about our clients together.
Yeah, so today we're having two guys, two experts, two marketing experts and business experts on this podcast, so stay tuned. And we're gonna just chat, so it's gonna be like sharing about our expertise, our examples which we have with clients and in our own projects. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show. I've been watching you for a long time, and I had a pleasure of meeting you at the 7-Figure Agency Mastermind. That's where we kind of met and clicked, and we found a lot of things in common. Not just because we were born in the same city in Ukraine, but we share a lot of common things in business. I always appreciate you inviting me to your channel. I'm excited to share some updates, some client successes, and just dive into what's working, what's not, and just share some insights to the viewers.
Dennis, share your experience. Like, what is your team best at, or what are you doing for your clients?
As you know, I started this company about 18 years ago as a generalist agency, Media Components. And about 5 years ago, we decided to really niche down into a specific niche, which is one of the niches we're working on, is the healthcare and home care. Over time, I just organically start getting more and more referrals from friends, from happy customers that are running successful home care and senior care businesses. Home care can be a lot of different things. It's really what it means is for caring for seniors at home. And the challenges that my clients in the home care, healthcare have is finding new qualified clients, because this market is also very competitive. And we started in the tri-state area, which is New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. And now we're growing nationwide. We really opened up a new location here in Florida. We're focusing on Texas, Arizona, and the West Coast, like California. Our main specialty is building lead generation for home care agencies. What does that include? That includes a full spectrum of digital marketing services. We really start with building a high quality and professional websites. And as you know, website is really the central location where people land.
Yeah, this is the first thing.
So you got to make sure the website is mobile, secured, it loads fast, but not only beautiful website, you want to make sure it converts. So we established with really a strong brand. We kind of go back to the basics. Branding is really important. When people remember your brand, you can actually save a lot of money. When people search for your brand, the cost per click will be less expensive when people are searching for a name. So if people are searching for a certain name, we want to make sure the brand is out there, not only organically, but also paid. Building an omni-channel approach, we want to make sure the message is out everywhere, on Google pay-per-click, on social media, consulting our clients to really tell the story, what makes them different, why should somebody go with your home care versus another. And it really comes down to testimonials and building a nice feeling about the company. It's branding, but also real-world proof, such as testimonials, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews. We have always consult our clients is to build a strong effort of review acquisition. And really, end of the day, that has been a game changer for some of our clients. Once they reach to 100+ reviews with the Google algorithm, it really spikes their ranking. We noticed once companies get to like 50, 75, 100 reviews, they have a consistent flow of incoming reviews. We just noticed the traffic spiked, and I was going to actually ask you, because you're really day-to-day learning the algorithms with Google. Do you think Google reviews plays a significant role in the domain ranking, in like the organic traffic?
Organic SEO?
Yeah, organic SEO.
I believe it works because what I noticed that the better the brand is established in the market, the better the Google rankings are. And even if you invested less in SEO, you can win the competition from the even bigger companies if they're not really investing in their brand. So I would say that the small company with or a smaller company with a stronger brand may win the competition in organic.
That's actually a great point, because I recently was speaking on a panel for the Home Care Association, and they were asking me this question: how can a smaller company, a startup that's been in business maybe like a year or two, compete with bigger enterprises that have been in business for 10, 20, 30 years? And what I consulted them is to really focus on the brand, but really focus on the reviews. Because if you have, obviously you're going to start your Google business profile with getting reviews from your friends, family, potential customers, and people that are in the area that can kind of kickstart your success on Google. But once you get a brand presence established online, it's important to build a system for reviews and automations. So that's really what we've been focusing on, is building a system where reviews get generated automatically. As soon as a customer touches with your business, it's important to build a system that also reminds them, because everybody's busy nowadays. They might get a text message or an email, hey, leave us a review, but some people want to save that message for later when they fully experience with the company, and they might want to review that within a week, within 2 weeks, maybe a month. So it's important to build like a follow-up system for review acquisition, right? Not everybody's going to answer a review instantly.
Yeah, we touched a very important issue about reviews. I want to start from business because I know almost nothing about home care. So what I want you to share also with the viewers, I know, guys, if you're in this business, you know what is that and how does it work. But yeah, tell me a bit, how does this business look like from the business side? I mean, what is the average revenue of the home care business, or do they have a network of these houses, or the?
Yeah. The way the home care works, there's basically you have a senior living at home that needs help. It could be non-skilled, it could be nursing that is qualified to take care with more medical equipment or medical needs. How do home care companies scale, and how do they actually make money? It's been a trend going up with the aging population in the United States. They call the baby boomers. People are aging. A lot of people don't want to go to a nursing home. They want to stay in the comfort of their home. And this is why home care comes into play, where, for example, different states have different policies. For example, in Pennsylvania, in New York, in New Jersey, in the Northeast type of states, there's a program that government's allowed where you can get paid to care for your loved one. For example, if you have a family member, parents, grandparents, or even your child that needs special care at home, you can get qualified to become their caregiver. Home care companies are capitalizing on that by getting a caregiver and getting a client that needs, and the government pays for their hours for taking care of. In states like Florida, in other states that have different programs, companies are capitalizing by what is called a private pay. Companies get paid by the insurance. Whether you have a long-term care insurance, you have a certain insurance for the home care services. So,
and who is the decision maker? Who decides?
The decision maker is really the client, or somebody who makes the decisions for the client.
So you need to target them specifically.
We need to target them, yes. In the case of the Northeast states, sometimes really the caregiver takes care of the client, and they're in a capacity to make the decisions for the caregiver. So sometimes we're targeting caregivers because they might not be happy with their current company, and they want to transfer to a different home care that will pay them more, they'll have better benefits, and at the end of the day, the caregiver works with the client, and they make a decisions to move to a better company that will have better benefits, a better hourly rate. They will get paid daily. They will have just better experience with a different home care. There's different programs. Each state has a different program, and what we help with companies is to target those clients, and in some states target the caregivers, and in some occasions we actually help with recruitment. If a company has cases, but they don't have the staff, they don't have the caregivers, they don't have the nurses, we can create a lead generation campaigns to help them with the recruitments on social media, on pay-per-click platforms.
About the market, how the market looks like right now. Are there many companies which only starting up, or it's already established and they just open new locations and they try to get more clients from the same locations where they work?
Yeah, as far as the market, we're obviously marketing ourselves to the new startups, but what we're noticing, there's tons and tons of companies that are opened up daily. The challenge is it's very hard to get compliance, get approved by the insurance, get the regulations set up. So it could take 6 to 12 months just to open up a home care agency, because you really need like a brick and mortar location to get approved. You need to go through all the training, you need to get all the licenses, and then you really need to get insurance companies to approve you to start doing services. But really the other portion is bigger companies are acquiring other companies by venture capitalists, they have investor groups. So just like in the services space, bigger companies are buying out bigger companies and they're growing and monopolizing in certain areas. Same thing with the home care industries. If a company sees a company that they will acquire, they're going to just grow and take over the market. So there's two sides of things. People are still seeing the potential and the lucrative nature of a home care agencies because they see people are becoming millionaires within a couple of years and they're like, I want to do this too. So they branch out, they start the company, and that's when they reach out to us to really scale them and come up with a marketing plan where they can really come up fast and become successful within a year or two.
Let's talk about the success in millions which they have in their business. So when they only starting, how fast can they achieve 1 million or multiple 7 figures and then grow to 8 figures? If they stop there somewhere and wait until somebody will buy those companies, or how it works?
Well, we can spend hours and hours and days discussing some of the case studies and wins that I noticed my customer have, but I'll give you like a shortcut to some of these people. I noticed companies start from zero, and what I'm noticing, how do they scale up to like 10 clients, 20 clients, 30 clients and up, is by really being smart and coming up with a strategic marketing plan, strategic business plan, where to invest the marketing dollars. Obviously, when you're starting up, the best way to get referrals is by going into the community, getting involved with the hospitals, the senior aging. Within the home cares, a lot of referrals come from what is called like a caseworker. If you're trying to get funding from the government, they usually put you with a caseworker who will then recommend a home care agency.
I got it.
So it's kind of like guerrilla marketing. You have to penetrate the local market. You have to really study who are your connections, what are the senior agencies in the area, and what's the best way to get referrals organically, even before you start doing marketing. Once you really get the groundwork set up, building your organic referral sources, and you have income coming in, that's when companies come to us, and then we can really scale up by using digital marketing strategies. We set up a professional website, we set up a CRM system to really autopilot the lead nurturing. Because once you start doing Google ads, Meta ads, the leads coming in, it's important for home care agencies to qualify the leads and respond to them instantly. Because the biggest challenge we see with our clients within the home care agencies is they get a lead, but they don't have the staff or the resources to instantly respond to them and qualify them. So that's why we're using, CRM systems, Go High Level, HubSpot. Some customers, if they can afford, they're going to a HIPAA-compliant like Salesforce. But we're obviously implementing our own white label CRM systems like Go High Level, and we got the HIPAA-compliant nature of it, because in the healthcare,
that's important.
HIPAA-compliant is very important because they could be sharing documents, personal information. That's why we HIPAA-compliant the CRM system. But as I was mentioning, answering the lead instantly with a text message, with an email, would allow you to schedule that qualifying message, qualifying strategy session, or in this case, qualifying intake department meeting. And once you start generating a nice lead flow of leads, we can then consult customers how to really invest their incoming budget into other outreaches, whether it's social media, content, getting a video set up for YouTube ads, Some customers are utilizing TikTok right now for building a strong brand message and some culture videos on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts. Depends the level of your company and where you are in your journey, because there's obviously different channels and different platforms where you can invest your money. But what we're noticing, when a company reaches a certain level, if they pass the $2 million revenue mark, $5 million and up, they're really starting to really focus on the data. They want to start attributing where the ROAS, where's the return on their investment with the ads, and we're building really sophisticated attribution system, because the way the company scales up, they're looking to exit, they're looking to get acquired, and the numbers go into play a lot. And they really care about the numbers. So we're building dashboards, we're building attribution models. This customer came from Facebook ads, this customer came from organic search on SEO, this customer came from like an Instagram ad, and how much did we spend on this customer, how many hours have they booked in service. So this really, when you get to that higher level, the company is really focused on their data.
Let's call this part HIPAA-compliant marketing system. I want you to just share how would you scale this, any startup in home care business, to the million, then to the second million, then up to 5, and so on. So one by one, which channel would you recommend? Because sometimes they need your help. Sometimes some companies, they have their own marketing expertise and marketing team inside. So I want this information also would be helpful for them, so they can use it internally. But just make it happen. And Denis is going to share right now the step-by-step guide for this HIPAA-compliant marketing system.
Yeah, HIPAA-compliant. Obviously, first step you want to do is create a market analysis. You want to see who your competition. You want to establish a HIPAA-compliant CRM system. We usually help with that. Set up the automations as soon as the lead comes in to get the autoresponders up. Send them a text message, send them a welcome email, and keep reminding them to touch base with you. Then, what we're noticing, the best channel to get qualified leads is still Google pay-per-click, because Google still has the search intent. People need the service.
So they search.
And this is where we come in. We optimize to make sure they show up on top with the Google ad. That's number one. Number two, I would say, is the organic optimization of the Google Maps, the Google Business Profile. You want to make sure it's completely optimized. You have professional photos, you have a professional video, you have all of the Google profile optimized with all the metrics. You have the Q&A, questions and answers. There's a section on Google that you can apply, and you want to make sure the phone number is correct. Make sure you're tracking the calls, you're recording the calls for quality assurance, for training purposes. You want to make sure the website is linked to a proper either a homepage or a landing page funnel where the traffic converts. That would be number two, the Google organic search. And number three is utilizing the social platforms to really remarket and brand the local area that will geo-target, geo-fence. So even though you get traffic from Google, which is qualified, which is targeted, they might not engage with you right away. They might look at you, they might get busy and close the website. And that's when we can retarget them on Facebook, on Instagram, on any other social media platform, and reminding them, hey, you just visited our home care agency website, come back to us and let's talk about it. That's really the three platforms that we focus on. Obviously the Google ads, the organic SEO, and then the social media lead generation, and also retargeting, remarketing. And a lot of home care agencies invest into local marketing, which is like events marketing. So what we have been doing is whenever they're going into like a senior expo or a hospital expo, we create a kind of like a geo-fenced approach where we really narrow it down to like a 5-mile radius, as close as you can on those networks, and we create a campaign specifically for that event. Because a lot of times seniors go into a senior expo and they're shopping around, whether it's caregivers, they're shopping around for a new agency to work with, or maybe they're looking for services, whether it's nursing care, whether it's meal prep, or they need like a driver to drive into appointments. Maybe they need like a wound care. If they have a wound, they need a company that will, replenish the wounds. Maybe they just need a caregiver for personal assistance, take him to the shopping, take him to the bathroom. You know, all of this, it really comes down to a caregiver that really cares about their client, and companies that really care about their client, care about their staff, care about their branding, because it's a really, really hard business. You know, taking care of an old person, you know how difficult it can be. So it's you know, I heard some horror stories, but I also heard success stories where companies scale up based on their way they do business, the way they get the reviews.
So again, reviews. I hear a lot of reviews, so it's very
reviews
important.
is obviously real proof of the business, and we're noticing with the new algorithms that are coming out, Google is placing a lot of weight on the reviews. So not only it's important to have reviews, but let's say you got 30 reviews and you have a 5-star rating, and then you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm going to stop. You know,
no, it doesn't work this way.
That's not good. I think Google calls it like review. There's a certain term, review acquisition metric, something where it's this rapid review growth. It's important to have a consistent review over time.
Dynamic,
Dynamic review score, something. I forgot the term, but so reviews is important, and it's obviously great to have reviews. But we've been doing more and more video content, which really works for branding, and the case studies where caregivers go on camera, do a review testimonial, and then we're using these reviews to kind of like repurpose them on all the platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. For home care agencies, we're noticing that the best platforms for social media is Facebook and Instagram, and then sometimes
Facebook
TikTok.
and Instagram, and sometimes TikTok,
Sometimes TikTok, but my company, you know, the Curious Digital, the agency that focuses on home care, our main platforms that we utilize paid ads is Google, Facebook, and Instagram. Those 3 levels seem to bring in most of the results because they're still the top companies that get most traffic still.
Correct. Why don't you go to TikTok, or why don't
TikTok, we're starting to get into it more.
So you're playing
you
with
know,
that,
I think we're a little bit late to the game, but you know, they don't really have that much. What last time we checked, they didn't have as much flexibility on the targeting as Meta does. But we're getting into TikTok because we're noticing better results. But the challenge is with TikTok, you have to have like a nice video, a viral video where whether it's a staff member doing something interesting. TikTok is all about the entertainment, and you have to have a dynamic, engaging video. So the challenge has been is getting those videos from the clients, especially when it's a HIPAA compliant. It's very like professional and strict, and you want to be careful what you display and what not display. That's why testimonial worked for us. You know, service video worked, but TikTok, it's more like a fun platform. So unless you create something fun, it might not generate as many views. So, but we're experimenting. We're doing some A/B testing on TikTok. But you know, to answer your question, you know, Google, Meta, and SEO, that always works. And going back to the main point of this video, reviews, what can make or break your success. So if you do come away with something, you want to build a system to acquire reviews consistently.